Welcome to the original 16 Bonspiel. You're watching the finals qualifiers. Your commentators tonight, myself, Rob Lane, and I got local legend Jim Lautner. Welcome to the booth, Jim.
Hey, glad to be here, Rob.
Excellent.
We'll be enjoying the action this evening. Caught a bit of the tail end of the previous draw. And it was very exciting games.
For sure. Yeah, we've had some great action here at the club. So this game is an elimination game. If you lose this, you're done. You go home. Win, you move on to a qualifying spot into the quarterfinals tomorrow morning. So a lot on the line tonight. This specific game is Team Jacques versus Yanagisawa. Team Jacques is from, well, they're a half Calgary, half Edmonton team.
It's good. Tighter than that.
And Yanagisawa is from Japan.
Nice and tight. Line's good. Yep.
Starting off with a traditional
Yep.
guard on the center line. We are playing the center line no tick rule in this Bonspiel. So really important for the leads to get their rocks on this, touching this center line.
And there's an ideal shot for the lead starting out here.
Good deal. Okay, Yanagisawa coming down. I didn't see the call. Did he call it in?
Yeah, they're trying to draw around that center guard.
Okay. Looking pretty nice. Didn't think he really wanted to come behind T-line there.
No, definitely deeper than they were hoping for.
Yeah. I think that last sweep, though, was just if you're going to go deep, get it a full rock deeper so that you can't freeze on the pin. So,
interesting call from Jacques here, though. They're playing some weight to try to move it out, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of a defensive move early, but I guess you go with what you're comfortable with. Teams have been aggressive all Bonspiel. They've been playing in and going
hard,
going for it. So
hard.
This is gonna get close to that
hard.
guard.
Gotta get by the guard. Oh, just rubbed the guard there. Close. We've been seeing some great curl this weekend, Jim, here at the Calgary Curling Club. It's been fabulous ice conditions, so. Definitely at that center line, there's a lot of movement around there, so you can't be tight, and you got to make sure that you get on it early.
Yeah, we're not sitting right behind the sheet that the action is on here, Rob, but even from my angle, it looked like the shot was a little tight right from the get-go.
Right from the start, yep. He barely rubbed that because he didn't move the rock off the center line. You are allowed to move your own rock, unfortunately. Welcome to everybody in YouTube land. If you got questions or comments, feel free to use the chat. We'd love to interact with you throughout the game tonight. Tell us where you're watching in from.
12-5.
Our last game featured another one of the Japanese teams, Team Maeda. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe it's Made. So we had a bunch of folks from Japan. They commented with a bunch of Japanese text that I couldn't read, but hoping it was all good news there.
I think it all said you were doing a fantastic
job. Oh, perfect. So Jake's sticking with his plan and playing the hit now. It's a little bit more open. Yanagisawa came up a little short in his last shot and gave Jacques the opportunity to hit this one.
Okay. Yeah, oops.
Yeah, Yanagisawa is going to want to make sure they stay around with this hit, or else this will give Jacques an opportunity to draw one around those two guards that are out there.
Yep. Curlin should grab a piece of it, but shooter's probably not going to stick around. Just enough to get rid of the shot that they were going after. So main objective achieved, I guess, but really would have liked to kept the shooter around there.
Yeah, it looked like he may have been a little soft for the weight there.
Right.
Got it, curl. Lots of room. Curl it back. Knife it. 14-7. Keep
So
going.
Ryan just calling for the curl here, looking for a big finish. I think he's going to be a hair wide.
going.
So keep it going to stay.
Too much.
Try and keep the line going, but a little short, about half buried.
Yanagisawa playing another soft weight hit here, hoping to keep that shooter around.
They're working this pretty hard. I think they're holding it. It is moving, but just by the guard. Great shot. Covering the pin, and Jacques can still chase this though. There's plenty of curl. So should see Ryan Parent here with a nice soft weight takeout. Following it down. Don't know if he can do much better than nose, but Ryan Jacques calling room early, so we'll see if they can get this moving.
They'll definitely be staying around.
Good call. 12-8.
Just about nose. Little tiny hair of a flop out, but overall pretty good call. So Yanagisawa looking to, you know what, get me out of downtown here. Let's get out to the outskirts of town and roll out to the 8-foot. This is looking like it's going to get by the guard. Yep. Just a little flop out. Not quite as far as he asked for, but
5.
Jake's looking for the inside roll here, so
A little more of an opportunity there now that the
yeah.
target rock is off the center line, I bet.
Yeah, you don't have to play it cute to the guards. You know, it's amazing how those guards, when they're in your eye, it just gets in your head, and you tend to throw it a little wide on those and not trust the broom.
Yeah, sometimes the biggest guard out there is your head itself.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Whoa.
Well played shot there.
Very nice
11-2.
roll. Yeah, roll dead buried. So Yanagisawa calling for the double peel here. If you do this right, you should be able to run the red back onto the yellow, but that would leave the shooter in place, which not bad in that situation. So
they'd be pretty happy to get rid of both the guards and
yep.
roll the shooter somewhere out of play.
There will be a little bit of heat behind this rock. Okay, pretty much nose hit. Did get rid of both doubles, but left his own rock in place as a guard, so Jake's immediately calling in. Interesting that he thought that he'd come that deep. I thought he'd leave it a little higher and maybe closer to the 12-foot, just a biter kind of thing, but do you like coming in that deep?
Well, they're in the only problem with coming in too deep is if they leave some angle and Yanagisawa can somehow make the run back double on it.
Right, yeah.
Sounds good.
I guess your tolerance on that shot has come up a little bit short.
Yeah. Yep. If you manage to deadlock it nose on that, the one that's already in the rings, that would be a very good shot as well.
Yeah.
Tear down.
So Brusher's just keeping it clean on this. That's usually an indication that they like the weight. Finishing in here, this is looking pretty good. So they must have been listening to me. They like my shot best.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be disappointed with that result.
No, that's pretty good.
No,
So, still a run back available. There always was going to be a run back, but there's a bit of separation between those two rocks, so it makes it a little bit tougher.
Slight inside. Makes sense.
This shot is made perfect by Yanagisawa. It will leave a high red run in the rings with a guard, but that'll leave a chance for Jacques to get around a rock in the top 12 foot.
Yeah!
Looks like he's a little curled. Yep, curled just a hair too much. Missed everything, and so now it's a little tighter guard than I first expected. I thought he'd keep it a little bit higher than that, but
Triple of crap. I don't like tapping for sure.
If they do position a rock where they're pointing right now, that's going to make Red's situation tenuous.
yep, there won't be a triple, and they got that control zone taken care of. They're kind of controlling that 4-foot zone, and there'll be no draw in for shot rock at that point. So.
No, as long as yellow doesn't come too deep with their shot, then they're going to make it very difficult for red to be able to counter.
Yes. Just for everybody watching online, we'll keep you updated with scores throughout the game.
And Ryan did just indicate to his sweepers that they were trying to position this so that they were taking away the draw path for Yanagisawa as well.
Just
So.
full 8.
So yeah, just full 8. Again, short's probably the miss on this one.
Yeah, the one problem with being short here, though, is that you would leave the double to perhaps even blank the end. So.
Right. Yeah. So just don't miss the shot, is what you're saying.
That's why they pay the skips extra money
That's
to
right,
make these key shots.
Just full 8 room. Room.
Really needs to curl here.
Hard, Ethan. Full 12. Full 12. Hard.
That's the first soft weight shot that they've thrown with the out
Good sweep.
turns.
Yep.
Not a bad result, though.
No. I think that achieves the objective. He would have liked to have been another half a rock over and a rock deeper, but
Yeah, I think it takes away the draw regardless, Rob, and I think
Yeah.
that Yanagisawa may just choose to nose the front one and concede a single point here by the looks of it. I don't think they can get Don't think they can get the yellows going back onto the back one.
no.
Yeah, it looks like it's a concession shot
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take your lumps, and but it's early in the game, and only giving up a single isn't the end of the world. So lots of curling to come.
Yeah,
So
it looks like the only opportunity that red may have to actually counter would be to play the raise on their wide red one and tap it into the 4-foot, but that would be a pretty precise shot.
Yeah. think first end I'd rather just give up the single and get out of Dodge. Score my deuce in the second and call it all part of the plan.
And success.
There you go. So, steal for Team Jakes in the first end here.
Nice. Really good in there.
Yeah,
Nice
the hit and roll that Ryan Parent made really set that up for Team Jakes for sure.
Yep, exactly. All right, well, while they reset, I'll take a look around the rings here. Over on sheet 2, Bryce versus Samson. Looks like Samson scored a big 4-ender in the first end, so they'll be happy with that. On sheet 3, O'Connor versus Dunham. Of course, they're standing right in front of the scoreboard, so I can't see.
Well, it's the first end.
So
they
haven't done yet.
Should be nothing.
Nothing right now. You're right. So, no, they're still shooting the first end there. Sheet 4, Adams versus Kaltoff. They're still in the first end as well. And same thing with sheet 6, Finance versus Keene. They're still in the first end. So, I guess if you're going to give up 4, do it in the first end, and you got some time to come back.
Or get to the bar earlier.
Or get to the lounge. We do have Original 16 on special this weekend. It's $5 pints and $15 jugs, so. All right, back to second end action here between Jakes and Yanagisawa. I'm assuming Jakes is calling the guard. I didn't see the call, but.
Yeah, being only one up, I would think that they're probably still going to try to get a tight center guard here.
Yep.
Keep it going. Keep it going. 15 seconds.
Although they're sweeping this one like they want to get it in the rings, and it's going to be right to the 4-foot. So.
Really good.
Well, if I heard Ryan correctly, and if I heard him say 15-7, and they were able to drag that to the 4-foot, that is keen ice. If he, wow, 15-7, holy smokes. I'll see if I can get a time on this one. And
yeah. Okay. Line はちょうど OK 15.8 OK
nice shot, tight guard by the Yanagisawa team. Jakes is going to follow it up with another guard here, just touching center line.
Line's really good.
All right, started the stopwatch. I'll give you an update here in a moment.
Yeah, it's a better path here. Line's good. Curl hair.
All right, I got 16.25 for the tight 3 guards. So yeah, that is some pretty keen ice.
Fast for sure.
Yeah.
後ろで OK
And that's a 16.25 on its own. That's not with brushing. That's so pretty keen ice. Ice Maker's doing a phenomenal job here this weekend.
That's good.
Some very nice shots happening on some of these other sheets too, Rob, where we're still waiting for first ends to finish.
Or for scores to get posted. We've got some couple finished ends, but
15.
Well, on sheet 3, Dunham made a very nice in-off roll to the button to get a point, I believe.
okay.
Top 4.
And Dunham is last year's finalists in this. They lost to McEwen in this Bonspiel last year in the finals. So they were pretty happy with that result. Obviously, they don't like to lose, but...
and there's a fantastic double and roll to Frozen on sheet 4 by Kaltoff there.
Okay.
Line's good. No bounds. Oh, then.
And on our feature sheet here, we did have a nice draw around the corner guard, and Jakes is now trying to freeze chase here, and it looks like they might be a little frisky.
Yeah, coming through. He was trying to carve it over, but unfortunately didn't quite get it there. A little hot and through the house, so a bit of a mistake by the Jakes team there. They'll have a little bit of work to do to bounce back from that. Over on sheet 6, looks like Keene scored a single in the first end, so it's 1-0 Keene over Venance, playing 2 on sheet 6.
Whoa, play! Yep! Whoa! Okay.
Oh, stuffed the run back. Looking for the double there, stuffed it, so a little bit of a break for the Jakes team.
7-8.
Fun story from a little earlier today. We had the mics on Mark Keene, and apparently his dog was watching on YouTube back home. And when the dog heard Mark speaking, he started running around the living room looking for Dad. So that was kind of a fun story.
It is funny.
I think it's past the dog's bedtime now. We don't have a mic on Mark for this game, so no fear of getting the dog excited.
Very nice shot there.
Yeah, great run back double. Getting himself out of trouble from the earlier miss, so all that's forgiven and they can move on.
Interesting call here from Yanagisawa. I might have expected him to roll in behind his own guard there, but there's the signal to roll in behind the Jakes guard. So.
Yeah. Okay, just gets the nose hit, so
5-5.
Ryan's got a chance for the inside hit and roll here. I mean, it's going to be a short run back for Yanagisawa, but Jakes has to be pretty happy overall with this setup, I think.
Yeah, especially if Ryan Parent can make another hit and roll like he made in the first set.
Right.
Whoa! Queen! Girl! 11-1.
Did get inside nose, but didn't really get a roll, so just rolled a touch. Yanagisawa is looking to roll to the other side here.
Play! Yep! Yep! Play! Yep! Yep! Play! Play! Yep! Whoa! Yep!
Be close.
Yeah, looks like
Yes.
I'd call that the perfect roll.
Confirm. Honestly,
Ryan wasting no
maybe
time
roll it
and
open.
just gonna run it back. It's a short run back, so
Nose is pretty good though. 8-5.
if he is a little tight, Ryan does want to be able to roll into the house here with the shooter, but I think the first option is just a straight run back.
Queen. Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
And that looks pretty good.
Almost got the roll in behind the center.
Just about, yeah.
That's a good shot. 7-9.
For not being the biggest guy in the world, Ryan Parent can throw some heat too, so.
The hair's
Been able to do it since he was a young junior. My sons played a number of games against him when we were coming up through the junior ranks.
Yeah. I've got about 30 pounds I could loan him if he wants to have. Then it's not a loan, it's a give. I don't want the 30 pounds back. I could give it to him.
Yeah, you won't even charge him any interest.
No, wouldn't charge him interest. Okay, I think they were trying for the inside flop there, but didn't quite get it. So Ryan's not wasting any time, and he gave the tap to inside hit and roll here, get behind that center guard. I think Jacques has to be pretty happy with this result so far.
Yeah, you've kind of controlled both of the first two ends here so far.
Yeah, for not having hammer, he's really been in control, so.
Do it.
Watching a couple of Ryan's games now, he's a very positive guy. Every time he gets down to the hack, he confirms with the guys what he wants and just gives a little positive confirmation that they're going to make the shots. So nice to see. And close for the inside roll. Yeah,
Right on the nose.
pretty much.
Good sweep. Thanks.
So Yanagisawa has the option for the inside roll again. This is Yanagisawa's first rock.
For rolls.
So
Yeah, they don't even need to dead bury it. Just to get half chunk in behind the guard would make it very difficult for Jacques to make a shot that would not allow Yanagisawa a pretty easy blank end here.
yep. Yeah, because even if you only half bury, Jacques is going to roll out and Yanagisawa just throws it through, and happy with that result too, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Although the new book on curling says you should count in the even ends.
Right, whether it's a single or not.
Yeah.
Well, he's got an inside roll here. I would say perfect. That is dead buried. Wow, nice shot.
I think they should be very happy with that result.
Yeah. Ryan wasting no time. He's not going to try the run back double. He's looking to cap this and sit right on top of that and cut down that scoring area. So Jake's pushing hard to get the force here.
Yeah, certainly anything that straddles the center line that gets close to frozen to that red one's going to make it a non-easy shot for red to count to.
Yep. A non-easy shot. That's a very positive way to say that, Jim.
Well, it sounds more makeable than hard.
Than hard. That's right.
Hard then. Hard.
I like the line. Sweeper's job to manage it coming in. This is looking pretty good. I think they're going to be right there. Maybe a little tap.
Great sweeping.
Very nice. They did leave. I just curled a hair more than they wanted. It did leave the half of the button open, but there's not a lot of real estate there.
No, it cut it down, but
What time was that?
I would concur. I think that rock probably curled a third of a rock more than they would have hoped for.
Yep. Yeah, ideally you were really straddling that center line.
Yep.
Would have been absolutely perfect, but pretty nice shot all around. So
Pretty much forcing Yanagisawa to get a little piece of the button to get an extra point.
yeah. Now Yanagisawa did put it on the pin for his draw to the button, so he should have his draw weight.
Yeah, he did throw it with this turn as well, so
He
he should
did.
have some
Yep.
familiarity. Let it curl a bit though.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like it needs to curl here.
Little heavy.
Is this a little hot?
Hard line.
Trying to come down.
I think it went just a hair too far.
Yeah, an inch too far.
I think just a single. They're having a look, but
Oh, yeah. One red.
maybe a little bit of gamesmanship going on there, trying to get him to look at it. But there was, even with my eyes, he didn't need to measure that one. So
Although as the camera did zoom down there, it did look closer than I at first thought it might be.
Drew, yeah. Some great camera work by our volunteers tonight. Good job, Blake and Brian and Jared. Thanks for your help tonight, guys.
The minimum perfect weight.
All this streaming is brought to you by volunteers from the Calgary area and the Calgary Curling Club. So, you know what? One of the great things about this game is the volunteerism that's part of it. People aren't just participants, they're volunteers as well. And they get behind every event, whether it's a local Bonspiel or even something like the Grand Slam that you saw going on TV today up in Beaumont. Just a ton of people work behind the scenes to make that event a success. So, great to see. So we're tied at 1 in the third end. Hammers with the Jakes team for the first time in the game.
And except for the big 4 count in the first end on sheet 2, all the other sheets had counts of 1 in the first end.
Full 8.
Jake's looking to draw in here behind the guard. It has been interesting. There's been not as much use of the corner guards throughout the Bonspiel. Every game that we've done so far, there's been, I'd say, more play to the center than to using the corner guards.
14-6.
I think what we are finding in practice there, Rob, is that if you don't win the battle to the around that center guard and you lose it, you don't get a chance to work your corner guards regardless. So
right,
it has become a race to that
race to
center
the 4
line,
foot, race to the center. Yep. Well, and you know, with the ice conditions that we get now and the rocks and as lively as they are, hiding behind those corner guards is really, really tough. There's usually a chase option, so.
We did see Yanagisawa in the second end make a nice shot around a corner guard, but it didn't last very long. A little bit of a mistake here.
Yeah.
Top 4.
So despite playing the center line no tick rule, you are allowed to tick your own rock off the center line. You don't want to, but you are allowed to move it off the center line.
Not only are you allowed to, and it must stay wherever it comes to rest. So.
Yeah, you don't get the option of putting it back, unfortunately.
Line's good.
As a career league, I would like to make an amendment to that rule where I could put it back, but I haven't heard back from Curling Canada on that one yet, so I don't think I'll hold my breath.
Yeah, you should not, because
Line's
you turn
getting
blue.
Line's good now.
This coming in really nice here. Plenty of room around that guard, but tons of finish. And I think they're pretty much dead buried. Full 8 foot, nice shot.
Yeah, very good situation for Team Jakes at the moment. A single corner guard that they've fully buried behind, although it's not their corner guard. They're not that concerned about that at the moment. And another rock in the house. So.
Yeah. Yanagisawa is looking for the angle raise here.
I think they may be playing that as an option.
Okay. Peel off the guard. And if you happen to get it, great. Close.
They've been quite good at hitting the port.
Half tight.
So now
Half tight's really good.
if Ryan can cover this corner one up with one of his own guards, he's going to feel real comfortable about the situation.
Yep.
Line's good. Little room. Half tight. Easy.
Just wants it half tight. Looking like it's going to come a little deeper than that. This might even sneak in.
Line's really good.
They're talking to the rock, and looks like they convinced it to stop just short of the rings.
Might be short, but that's still deeper than they would have liked.
That's deeper than they wanted, yeah. I do a lot of talking to the rocks out on the ice myself. They don't always listen, but I talk to them. Give them suggestions.
Yanagisawa having a little difficulty making noise with some rocks.
Yeah, he's really hoping for one of the two doubles. Either one he would have taken, but kind of got the field goal there and pushed it right through. So Jake's looking to put this right back, and I think you'll look them to see just a hair shorter on this one.
Line's good.
Jordan Darty throwing here.
4 feet out.
Tyler Darty's older brother.
Right.
Line's good. Let it sit for line. Sit for line. Gotta sit.
Shorter than the last one.
Hair shorter than the last one, and line's pretty nice on it, so they'll take that. Yanagisawa calling the straight run back this time. Just a hair off nose, should get it. On off must mean it's pretty close.
Get up.
And I
might have spun back in at the end.
might have.
It's in.
Okay,
Top
Ryan's
four.
telling us it's in, so great attempt at it. Ryan's going to put the rock right back where it is, or where it was, pardon me.
A little unfortunate for Yanagisawa.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice shot. So a little unfortunate on the outcome, but Jake's is loving it.
Yeah, I think there was a moment where the rock was outside the rings there.
And just did
Line's
a
good.
little curly
Bit
Q spin
tight.
back in.
The hook and ladder
Whoa,
at
that
the end.
whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Line's good. Just let
Here in line's
top four's
good.
really good.
Brushers are not even don't even have a clean down. Well, just a clean now, so
C9.
right to the tee line. So Yanagisawa just asking his team, do they want the angle run back or the straight run back? I think he's gone with the straight run back based on the broom.
It's getting late in the end here. They better make something good happen soon.
Yeah. It's kind of scary when your opposition who has hammers sitting 3 in the house. The hair tight, pushed it through the.
And they are
Pour it
just
again.
getting air in the house. On
Yeah, they're not far off, hey? They're just that millimeters. It's just millimeters.
It might be.
You know, the spacing on these rocks in the house is so good for Jake's. Yeah, I was thinking he may go around the
I like
corner
that.
here now.
Mm-hmm.
Top fours, top buttons, really good.
Yeah,
Above
sometimes
C,
you
up here's
get
okay.
that situation like, well, where do I put this? It's not going to hurt me. It's the leave that you're leaving your opposition. But I do like this come around the red guard.
Very little risk associated with it because even if it goes deep, the best that Yanagisawa can do off of it is third shot if he freezes to it.
It's
So
good.
Yeah. If Yanagisawa plays a double, well,
It's really
you
running.
get a free draw for 3.
Really running.
Sounds like it's a
Curl
little
if you
bit
can,
hot,
knife.
but no, we're putting the
grabbing a bit
brushes
there
to it
at the end,
now.
it's almost
Keep
like it
going.
may have picked just a little.
Just
right
a
at the
little
end.
bit, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Could be a fresh path out there, some fresh pebble out. We haven't thrown that
Really good
turn
spot.
yet. So
This situation is looking very tenuous for Yanagisawa at the moment.
yes. No easy double. Definitely no triple. And
Well, even if they make the double, they'll be wide open.
yeah. And it's so hard to make a perfect freeze.
Yeah.
On
think it makes
ice
sense.
that's running 15 and a half, you can probably blast it out of there even if you do make a
Right.
good one.
Yeah, even if you are dead nose nutted, you can probably still throw the weight to pick it out, and
Yep.
it's tough to hold these rocks.
Yep.
I see the O'Connor team scored a big 4 in the second end over Dunham, so it's 4-1 for O'Connor over Dunham playing the third end.
Yeah, they're obviously playing well in that game because they had Dunham in a bit of trouble in the first end, and very good shot by Dunham to count their point there, and then as a response of 4 in the second. So
Four. Look, be careful
We
though,
are
like,
looking.
Yeah.
How many rocks
Yeah.
come here? Okay, so Yanagisawa's still got one more, but there's a potential for that number in this game here too. So Ryan's just got to place this somewhere that keeps as much separation between all the rocks as possible.
Yeah, so perfect back 4.
yeah, it was just
Yep.
I almost don't
Yeah.
see a bad spot for him to throw this
Not
rock.
really.
Totally, yeah, that makes sense. And I was just going to say, like, back 4 is perfect, but let's make sure they're shooting it for something here. Yeah.
Anywhere in the rings is really acceptable, but back 4 is pretty nice.
Do it.
You know, probably about the only
Yeah, so
unacceptable
feeling,
option
switch
might
to the
be
back button's good.
short or just biting the top 12 foot because that could leave Yanagisawa something to draw around. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to leave it high and let him use it as a guard and force yourself into having him play a run back.
All there.
yeah, because if he gets it close to the tee line, anywhere out to the edge of the 4 foot or even into the middle of the 8 foot, I just don't see how you stop Jake's from getting a minimum chance for 3.
Mm-hmm. So this one curling a little wider than I think they had expected, but
Yeah, they won't be disappointed.
Still makes him
with
shoot
that.
for it.
no.
Yeah, good sweep.
Good shot on the tee line.
Yeah.
So
Looks like Yanagisawa is going to go for the double here.
Hey.
yeah, their best hope may actually, Rob, to not be to make the double, but to corner freeze
Just-
onto that other one and force Jakes to have to waste the back one and his shooter
Right.
to count multiple points.
Yeah, so just hit and roll over and hope that Jake's loses the shooter on his.
I'm not saying that that's what they're trying. I'm just speculating
That's
on
the-
what their best
That's their best
result
outcome.
might be.
Yep. This looks a little hot. So he made the double.
Yep.
Okay, well, wide open hit for 3 for Jakes.
I don't think there will be any funny business here. That'll be good. Should be good.
Looks like he's Ryan Parent just taking one more look. Is that really in or not?
10-5. Right on the nose.
So calling for a 10-5 right on the nose. A little bit softer weight just to minimize the rollout chances.
In or not, it doesn't change the shot that would be played by the Jakes team, because they'd be playing this for 2 regardless, and
Yep.
then perhaps a measurement on the side one to
Yep.
see if it's for 3. More interesting situation if that's the only other rock that could be a counter, and now you're not sure. Should we blank? Should we stick?
Right.
Makes sense.
From our vantage point, it does look out, but they had called it in earlier and kicked it off right away. So
Yeah, I think we played the first one the right way. Sorry?
Well, they only put 2 up on the scoreboard.
2 up on the scoreboard.
I did throw it pretty light, though.
コーナードロップ
Interesting.
ってんだね。
Ryan seemed to be pretty sure it was on earlier.
Yeah.
もう一回いいかな。
I mean, we were tighter.
Maybe a little gamesmanship going on earlier to
ガードあれより高い方がいい
suck
よ
him into that. But okay, so just a deuce for the Jakes team. So 3-1 in the 4th end.
That being the case, the double by the Yanagisawa team on Skip's last shot was definitely the right play
Great call.
and the proper executing end result.
止まったんだっけ前に
So Yanagisawa didn't fall for it. We did, but
Well, you know what, Rob? We didn't have the advantage of going out and taking a look
That's
at it.
right.
We have to just go by the verbal
yes,
indications from on the sheet. So
player honesty in their poker face. So
that's the last time I trust Ryan.
that's right. Yeah, put that in the notebook next time you play him. Don't trust that guy. All right, so still, you always like the deuce when you have the hammer, so Jakes won't be disappointed with that.
Line's good. Even if
No, they'd have accepted that quite easily had it been presented to them as an option before the end even started. And
line's good.
will you take
51.
2 if we don't even have to play the end? They'd have said yes.
Absolutely, yep. Take that every time.
Good spot.
So
Yeah.
Ethan Drysdale coming in just on top of the tee line there with his rock.
That's good.
Really important not to get behind the tee line with those shots. As a lead, it just crushes your soul when you throw one in there
Well,
after scoring. And
you know what? It may crush the soul of the lead, but it crushes the soul of the skip as well.
Nice. Nice shot.
Yeah. 2 feet out. Tight
yes,
guard.
it does. You're like,
Just
really? You had
enough.
one job to do. Don't be heavy. And if you're going to be deep, just throw it through.
Yep.
Just throw it through.
Kiss of death, biting the back pin.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know the opposition lead every single time just
Line's good.
nails it. I don't think I've ever had an opposition lead miss that shot on me.
Well, I've
Line's
seen
good.
opposition leads not be able to find the house
Hard
until
if
you
it's
leave
off.
them that
Until you
situation.
leave in that situation. And then they just
Girl, if it's
pin it
off.
every time.
Line's good. Line's really good. Good sweep. It's a good spot. 17-5.
Scores in. Glenn Van Ants looks like he got a
Back right.
single in the second end to tie that game up.
Yeah, sheet 6 is, Vidance versus Keene is tied up in the third end. Looks like Bryce did score a single in the second end over on sheet 2, so they're down 4-1.
Starting their comeback clawback. And then we're still waiting for a second end result on the Adams and Kaltoff game.
Right.
Ja.
Looking like a nice little hit and roll here behind the guard.
This fourth end is looking eerily similar to how the second end went.
Yes, it does, didn't it?
Back 4.
That is pretty much dead buried behind the guard, so but it is behind T, so Jakes can chase it and come down, freeze. Which was, he didn't waste any time with that call.
No bounce. Nice then.
Trying to carve it over.
Clean. Straight. Straight. Hard.
Like the line now.
Hard.
Yeah, really
Right to
curling
it.
hard at the end there.
Right to it.
Gonna play just a little bump, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, 14-3.
They were going hard to keep the line there. They probably would have liked to have gotten off that, but it was busting hard, so need to keep the line.
(14-3) topped it through the ring, so my normal 13 1/4 would never have had a chance.
Yeah, we're seeing lots of curl this weekend, both ways, out to the wings and back into the center, so that's great to see. Ice Maker's doing a great job here at the Calgary Curling Club this
Looks
weekend.
like it's got a curl a bit though.
Does.
Ooh.
Is he a little hot?
Yeah, a little frisky and a little wide, I think.
Yeah.
Just grazed it going by.
Yeah, that was definitely heavier than what he called. That was more than through on its own, so. This ice will punish you if you're heavy and wide.
Full 8. Corner open.
Ryan just looking for a nice draw to the center right behind, so looking at 4 feet of curl. He's got his broom right on the edge of 8 to get to center line.
Line's
I was
good.
not watching sheet 2, Rob,
Full
but
eight's really
it
good.
appears that game is over
Just out of
in
the
3
4
ends.
foot.
Holy smokes, okay.
Line's good.
That must have been a big score for Sampson then,
Yeah.
if they've shaken hands.
6.
They didn't put up the final, but they have vacated, so we're going to call it a win for Sampson over Bryce on sheet
Keep
2.
going. One more. Good spot. Great sweep.
Those were 2 second-place teams in their pool. So Bryce was second in the B, Sampson was second in the F.
11でいけんな、11でいきたいな。OK。
So qualifiers so far: Morizumi was the first qualifier, McDonald second, Maeda made from Japan third qualifier, Sampson's the fourth qualifier. They sure got a cluster of rocks over in the house over in the 4 foot on sheet 4.
Okay, nice.
Adams and Kaltoff not scared to try out their prowess for finding the button there.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Back on our sheet here, Jakes has got a open hit that he's going to play, a little hit and roll.
9-5.
Just has to be a little careful of the jam in the back there.
He knows isn't horrible. get a little roll edge on it.
I think Jake's wouldn't mind losing that back yellow one anyways. If he clipped it on the way by, it wouldn't hurt his feelings.
Yeah, it's certainly more of a dangerous rock for Jake's than it is for Yanagisawa. Although any jam on that would involve Jake's rock would outcount the.
Yes, there is another biter.
Nibbler.
Oh.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yanagisawa does have another biter on the other side of the sheet, so.
No danger of a jam there.
No. Played that one a little conservative, and that's all right.
Okay.
Anybody out in YouTube, if you want to ask some questions, feel free to use the chat. Want to throw some support behind some of your favorite teams? Let us know where you're checking in from. Always fun to know that.
Well, it appears that Yanagisawa may be chasing this this buried rock with this throw.
Yeah. That's good.
Definitely looks that way.
It's got a curl quite easy.
It'll get there. If he's got the right weight, there's no shortage of curl. Looking pretty good. Just a
foot heavy.
Just a foot heavy. Man, that happens so many times, right? Looks like it's coming in so nice. So Jace can follow that down and pop it through.
Tiny roll.
Yeah, a little bit of a tiny roll,
like 13.
Doesn't have to be cute with this. Just get rid of that rock, and nose is okay, but
13-5.
a little inside roll would be great.
Just 13-5.
I guess outside.
Clean. 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 Girl.
Looks pretty
I
good.
think he's going to get his inside flop.
Really good shot. Perfect. Good
Just
call,
a hair,
12.
but great shot. So just another huge thank you on this Remembrance Day weekend to everyone who served and fought and sacrificed for Canada. This Remembrance Day weekend is an important weekend, and we sure appreciate all the support we've ever had from the military over the years. So thank you for all your service, and we'll be honoring those who've fallen tomorrow during our Remembrance Day games. We'll be pausing the game for a minute at 11 o'clock, of course, but we'll bring that game to you. Also a huge thank you to our title sponsor, Original 16. They're a great friend of curling. They do a ton of support between teams that you see, and here at the Calgary Curling Club, this Bonspiel, Original 16 is just a great friend of curling, so thank you.
And they've been the Briar Patch sponsor for many years now as well.
Yep. They do a great job of that. I put them to the test every time a Briar's in town. I make sure that their product is in top shape. And
you're on their quality control board?
Well, I'd like to vote myself into that position, yes. This is looking pretty good.
Over girl even.
Yeah.
They're running out of time.
Okay,
Almost half in the 8. If we can move it to here and sit through.
So Jake's is still sitting shot
How good that is.
in the back 8 foot. He can definitely chase this and chisel it sideways enough for sure to be laying 4 if he wanted.
I think any danger of that very back biter
rolls back.
counting now is pretty much
Bit of a
taken
long
care
throw.
of. So
Yep.
I think so.
Would you ever just corner freeze the red that was just thrown?
well, you certainly could.
Totally. Well, yeah, we could just be on this side. Yeah, I like that. Just through, like a 40.
The only risk with that shot perhaps would be if you left it open enough that
I guess, yeah, we
Yanagisawa could
we wanna
hit
roll-
it hard
we jam,
and
we
get the
wanna roll a
back
little
2 yellow and
Right.
spin
nose jam our only two.
the frozen yellow rock out of the ring somehow.
Right.
So
Would you ever just draw to the button behind your center guard?
You could. I think Ryan's just a little concerned that the red one is second shot right now
Right.
and doesn't want to make a mistake that would allow red to somehow lie 2 on their next shot.
Right. Yeah. So, well, they know the path. They've seen several rocks down here, so I think this is the right call.
yeah, hit a thin half really good.
Yeah, he's trying to eliminate it.
Nice and quick here, I'm sure.
But that could mean that a shooter may roll to the back button, which may give red a chance as well.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you roll that back button, they could come in and cap it. Calling the sweepers on right away. Might have got that one going out of his hands. It's pretty close.
Yeah, well swept.
Yeah. Okay.
Good sweep.
So I think yellow's laying 1, 2, 3 at the moment. So they achieved the objective, what they wanted to do.
Like really straightforward.
And even 1, 2, 3. I think they're 1, 2, 3, and 5. Just looking those 2 nibblers back there. I think yellow's just a hair closer. So our camera guys doing everything they can to zoom in, but the players are getting in the way. Unfortunately, our microphones are only one way. We can't ask them to move. I don't think he would anyways.
And then regardless of what we speculate, Rob, we were wrong in
Yeah.
the third end anyway. So
Right. Again, just another reason why I'm on this side of the glass.
This is just a straight draw coming up here.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Great
again,
shot.
this is similar to how the second end transpired. and,
Mhm.
We can chase out with the out.
yeah, but Jake's is talking about chasing it here, so must, wow, out turn would
That's-
appear to be the better way if you're planning on chasing it, but
Right.
that port's not that large.
That's not,
Literally quad on yellows.
that's a pretty extreme angle to slash the outside yellow into it. I don't know if I really like that. If you had to do it, you could, but
Third of a rock, and then you do have to be careful that how you hit that red one,
Right.
because it could go
Could
right across into the yellow one. that's
jam
in
into the
8
yellow
foot
pretty
there.
quick. Yeah, you could do that. You got the straight run back. It's long. Not the longest run back ever, but it's certainly, it's not an automatic
Looks like he's
either.
chasing it
Looks
through
like
the
he
hole.
is, yeah. He can't be playing much more than backline weight here with that kind of broom, though.
I think he would want to move it at least deeper than what is currently second shot on
Yeah,
in the 8
yeah,
foot
he's
there.
looking to push this full back 12, right?
I thought he might opt to just play the same kind
one
of
for
freeze that he
five,
did
one's
in
the way
the
clear, pretty
second
much.
end.
Yeah.
But he might be sensing a scoring opportunity here.
14. Sounds good. 12-1 on the last.
In spite of not having the hammer.
Whoa! Whoa! Go!
Must have got it to move a bit.
Yeah. He's going. He's got to get by the guard. He's by the guard.
Go, Jordan! Go!
Great shot. I don't know if he pushed it far enough, I think.
Well, it does not appear that Yanagisawa was even considering hitting that shot, so
No.
must have pushed it far enough.
Yeah, it's real close, but Yanagisawa's not even thinking about it.
Although I don't know what Yanagisawa could do through that hole. That wouldn't involve jamming the
Well,
yellow
exactly
right on theirs
right.
anyways.
It's jamming all day. If you touch anything, I don't. Well,
You can't hit it thin enough to and get through the hole to
Right.
make anything good happen. So
yep.
discretion being the better part of valor here to just draw full forfeit, which he just did
He's
the
had
last time.
Pretty
so
good draw weight, so.
not your hoped for result, but it'll be better than giving up 2. So.
Yes. Brusher's just keeping a little clean down, a little bit on off. This is going. Okay, well.
Wow.
Nope, very well controlled, very well swept. Great shot right to the pin.
A braver line caller than
I was.
was. So.
They weren't panicked.
But again, Rob, as you've indicated 2 or 3 times already, that's why they're out there and we're here.
We're
so.
here, exactly. Yes. So. All right, Yannick scores a single in the 4th end, so it's 3-2. Jake's up over Yanagisawa after 4 ends. Over on sheet 3, it looks like Dunham was forced to a single in the 3rd end, so it's still it's 4-2 for O'Connor playing the 4th end over on sheet 3. Sheet 6, they're still they blanked the 3rd end on sheet 6, so it's still tied at 1 in the 4th end on sheet 6 between Venance and Keene.
Sheet 4 was a 2nd end blank and then a steal of 1 in the 3rd by Kaltov. So they're up 2-0 against Adams.
Technically, we don't have a 4th end break, but maybe there's a little snack break going on or something here.
Yep, they may have had a round of tequila ordered to the back of the sheet.
Right.
Yeah, totally. But you seem like you've got a good handle on your rocks, so that's good. Alrighty, well, I'll head down there. Let's do it.
だからどうにかしようよってやってたわけなんですけど、結局に戻るんだったらさ。
All right, there we go. Jakes is putting the score up. Sorry, folks, we've done the round robin to give you the updates, and we're just waiting for these guys to get going again. So I guess I'll take the time to thank Original 16, our title sponsor. Like I said, a great friend of curling, and we certainly appreciate their support of this Bonspiel. Another shout out I have to give out to, obviously, is Bernice and Curler's Corner. Curler's Corner is the pro shop here at the Calgary Curling Club, and you know what? Bernice is just a fabulous friend to curling too. She does so much for the sport. Sponsors I think every team that walks through her doors, just about, I see a Curler's Corner logo on a jacket in the Calgary area just about everywhere. So if you need any kind of curling supplies, Bernice is the lady to come see here in Calgary. Please do come down and support her. She's just a wonderful friend of curling too.
I just spent most of the weekend in the Cochrane curling rink with a young team that I'm coaching there, and Bernice had sponsor signage up in their curling rink as well. So,
not surprised by that. Yeah, I think Bernice has sponsored every single junior Bonspiel in and around the Calgary area for a long, long time. So.
Well, if she doesn't sponsor it, it's because she doesn't know about it.
That's
so.
right. Yep. Yeah, so huge thank you to Curler's Corner and Bernice Merrick. She just does a ton for the game and just a wonderful lady. So thank you, Bernice. All right, looks like action's going to get going here again. Everybody's had their pit stop break and ready to start up the fifth end here against Jacques versus Yanagisawa.
A couple of minor mistakes in the game so far, but it's been a pretty well curled game. Lots of very nice shots made.
Then the score would indicate that too. Tight 3-2 score between two pretty good teams. A lot of fun curling action going on here. It's been a real treat watching and broadcasting all these games this weekend. There's been some fabulous curling. If you're in the Calgary area and looking for something to do tomorrow, come on down to the club. We'll have 3 games for you, so we'd love to have a great crowd out to watch these teams and cheer them on.
Hines. Whoa, tight. Whoa. Deja vu.
This one looks a little heavy.
Yeah.
Let it sit. Let it sit.
That might be that dreaded back
14-4.
button. Oh, no, he stopped right on the tee line, so.
Come to a halt fairly quickly.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But definitely deeper than he wanted. It's not totally behind tee, but absolutely it is deeper. So you're going to see Yanagisawa come. He couldn't run this rock down any faster if he wanted to and put it right on, cap it right on there.
Although Ryan did indicate that it was deja vu all over again from the third end, although I'm not sure why he'd be too concerned about that considering how the third end shaped
Worked
up
out for him.
most.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, that was a pretty good situation. And I'm not going to fall for his "it's in" comment this end if we get into a similar situation.
Although we can safely say that the shot
on the
that was on
inside.
the button was in.
Little bump.
Yes.
Top 4.
So Ryan just calling a top 4. I think he said it was okay for a little bump if he needed it, but.
Yeah, I don't think he would be disappointed in unlocking that freeze situation a little bit. Because I think right now the way things are, that rock, that yellow rock that's on the button will not be a counter this end unless something shakes up here.
Yeah. This is more about just jiggling things around and changing angles.
Hard line. Hard, Jordan.
Getting by the guard with a lot, but definitely over curling on him on a little bit short.
A little less weight than Ryan was holding for, I think.
A little wider path. But
So Ryan just saying a little wider path there, so that might explain a little bit of the weight difference too. They're still holding the broom right around that edge, 8 foot to draw to center, so it's holding up with the curl with 4 feet. That's really nice to see.
in that interesting situation where both teams appear to
Get
be
the double
happy with preserving their
About
own situations.
Yeah.
About a third.
This is a tougher double than it looks.
Is that being said from a Leeds perspective?
Yeah, that's a lead looks at this and just goes. Everybody's looking, going, "Oh, this is the easiest double on the planet." And
No, it is not an easy double. It's thinner than you think
it is thinner than you think every time. Yep.
Hard, right to it.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Seven, 3.
Those just off the crotch doubles are just maddening. So Yanagisawa just looking to put the guard back, I think.
Yeah, they're hoping for it to be a little higher than
Yeah.
the one that was there.
Yeah, not the exact same spot, but just get a guard back in place.
Trying to get it to curl a minute. Should
Yeah.
hook up enough.
Yeah, looks like he's overlapped just enough, so. So Jake's changing up the call from the
yellow's
last
not
one
really
here.
any good. Well, no, it's very precise. You ever like this? Anywhere to top 4?
ちょっと曲がってないかも。
While we're waiting for the shot to be called, looks like over on sheet 3, the fourth end, O'Connor scored a single, so they're up 5-2
Sorry?
over Dunham, playing the fifth end.
Yeah. I don't know if Peel does much. Like, I think it really does.
Big change in the auction here on sheet 6. Keane was controlling most of the end and rolled a little too far in his first one, and Glenn Manance made a nice nose hit
And even if they get the yellow,
take out of a Keane rock, and
you're on this side. It's
then
really
Mark just tried a
side's not good.
straight back raise for 2 and
Go for top
almost
8.
gave up 2.
Oh,
Just top
And
8.
at this moment, I can't even say for sure that he didn't.
yeah, they were slow in taking those rocks off.
Yeah.
They didn't bring the
Oh,
measuring
it's really
stick
good.
out.
No, and it
but
looked like they had intended on measuring it, and then cooler heads may have
Got a
prevailed.
little margin,
Yeah.
like I said.
Okay, well, we'll wait for them to post the score. They don't appear to be in any rush to do that. Both teams having a little conference at the hog line.
Well, these self-imposed fourth end breaks. So
It looks like that is happening, yes.
Room.
So Jakes must have decided to draw around everything here and try to get it into the top 4 foot.
Line's good.
Yeah, I think so.
Girl, a little more. Really good. 15-3.
Pretty much where he put the broom, I think.
That's a good spot, because Yanagisawa still has to be very careful about the possible slash on that. So
Yep.
and it does look like they're intending on putting up a guard here. So
Yeah.
but I think now with every guard that's put up on a yellow rock, yellow's just going to go out a little wider and going to try to carve one in there to be line 2 in the top 4 foot.
Right.
So
That's an awful lonely red rock with the angle set up for Jakes to slash it over and pop it out too, right, for a big score.
yeah,
So
for 2 or 3 or perhaps even more.
yeah, Jakes has got hammer here. That's kind of a lonely red. It's not as well guarded as Yanagisawa might think. Okay, so that slash is taken away. But like you said, I think Jake's is just going to... Oh, no, he's just ripping the guard. Okay.
So enough of this story. Looked like Cole Adams just made a very soft hit shot for 2 on that end to tie that, or in that game to tie it up.
Good.
Okay, so Jake's team made the peel. So Yanagisawa is going to put it right back where it was. Or as close to that as they can get it.
And it was steal a 1 on sheet 5, or sorry, sheet 6 for Glenn Venance.
Okay. So Venance up 2-1 over Keene, playing the 5th end.
Positioned.
Yeah, Yanagisawa putting it right back where they wanted. So Jake's wasting no time. He's just going to rip this again.
You may see this series of shots play out right up until Ryan's very last shot, where you'll try to draw the 4-foot.
Draw for the 4-foot.
Multiple points.
Yeah. Would Yanagisawa try and cheat this a little bit wider and on his last one and cut down more of that 4-foot?
Well, I think you wouldn't perhaps do that until your last shot.
Till your last shot, yeah.
Although you do have a fair bit of room to cheat, because the contact on the yellow rock in the top 8-foot there has to be thin. So
yep.
you have a bit of latitude on how wide you can go out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you got a good half rock, 3/4 of rock that you can cheat if you need. If you want to get fancy.
Yeah, the only thing you have to be concerned about if you start to cheat is to leave them the hole to play it with the other tournament. So.
Yeah.
Well, they're cheating about 1 inch more every time on this shot. So.
Just sneaking it out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mind locking in our 1 by drawing. Get to the T line. You go. That's better than
Well,
you.
perhaps I should be saying 2.54 centimeters.
Like that?
We are metric.
Tough.
Is Ryan considering drawing in now?
You know, he might, because
Well, beat him there.
well, it's it's a fairly low risk shot unless he happens to rub the one in the top 8-foot there and rolls open enough that Yanagisawa can make a double off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just don't be wide and short and leave him the double to pick you out, right?
6 inches
Like
heavy.
to lock in our 1 here by not peeling. Just draw on the T line. That leaves a slash. Like we want T line, splitting T. Yeah.
Splitting T, yeah. So you do have to be careful. You cannot be deep here. Back 4 is a disaster.
But Ryan was indicating that he was concerned about leaving them the slash double as well. So this is the margin for error is not wide here. So.
No, that's right.
guess his concern might be that if he doesn't play this shot now, that Yanagisawa may come down and just throw it into the top 4 foot and go, yeah,
Right.
now try and get your two.
Doesn't have it, yeah. So take it while you got it. Sometimes getting there first is best. This is looking, I think his line's pretty good. Might be a hair tight.
Sweeper said top 4 here.
Okay. No,
no.
no, he is short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's hard to get to.
Yeah, yeah, you kind of cut yourself off there. I don't know how you.
Yeah.
That might be the only way, so I think you have to be a little concerned about perhaps guarding that wide side of that yellow slash.
Right. This might be a time to guard the opposition stones.
Well, which is kind of what Yanagisawa's been doing most of
Most
the
of the
end.
end, anyways. It is a little unorthodox at this level of competition to have seen this end. This is a. I've seen this out of club curling, for sure, but
And then listening to several hours of Mike Harris's commentary on Sportsnet, he has said that he learned from at a very young age from his father, never guard an opposition rock. So
there you go. Well,
What time was it?
I think he does want to tuck a piece under his own. If he ever leaves it wide open, Jacques could use it to run it back, and that's a little tricky too. But
that would be a fairly low risk shot for Jake.
it would be, yeah.
He's out there more than most of the shots they've thrown this end,
Yeah.
which is probably okay. It's
It
curling
is.
now.
Yeah, it's coming. So, okay, well, Jacques could play the run back if he wanted. It would be for a pile if he did it right. Do you take a run at it?
Well, he really only has one option, and that is to play the guard that Yanagisawa just put up.
Just put up, yeah. I don't know if I quite like the angles or not.
No, they're not ideal. Not to play the shot. If the angles were set up better, I think you could
You do
play it and realize very low risk.
But
Yeah.
looks like he's just throwing it away. And
Yeah, all right.
take your one. Go up by 2 points after 5 ends. That's
And as we said about 9 minutes ago, both teams looked like they were just preserving their position, and that's exactly where we ended up here.
I was
So.
going to say. Ryan Parent giving an apology to the team next to him, so he's kind of crowding his house a little bit. Ryan's shot isn't as important as the one on the other sheet, so
Yeah. How much
maybe
less
they're just
weight?
pulling off to the side for a second to allow sheet 4 to play their shot. And I think he might have got a little bit of look from
Yeah.
Galtoff on sheet 4.
Good.
Hey, could you maybe hold off for a second?
Sure. Let's do it.
Mine actually counts for something. You're just throwing it away. You don't really need a broom down.
Well, I wonder if this isn't one of these slide out to the hog line and then try to dump it in there.
Dump it in?
Type of throws.
Well, he certainly put a ton of rotation on it.
Might be trying to bounce it off the sideboards.
Off the sideboards. Looks like he did try that trick shot. My kids asked me that when I first introduced them to the game. Why don't you just bounce it off the sideboards? Well, you're not allowed to do that. So.
Well, that would be an interesting new Olympic sport, shuffleboard curling.
Right, yeah. All right, so a single for Team Jacques in the 5th end. 4-2.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I think generally speaking, they're pretty happy with that situation.
Oh, still got the one.
Yes, please.
And I don't think we have any updated scores on the other sheets to report. So, yeah, still 5-2 for O'Connor over Dunham. Playing the 5th end on sheet 3. Tied at 2, playing the 5th end on sheet 4 between Adams and Kaltoff. And Venance Keene is 2-1 for Venance over Keene playing the 5th end. I'll just say thanks again to all my volunteers that have come out for streaming. This streaming broadcast has been brought to you by all volunteers all weekend long. So huge thank you to everybody who's come out. Just couldn't do it without everybody who's coming down helping us out here. Ton of appreciation for that. Okay, so Jake's calling the guard. Don't think he has quite a big enough lead to come in yet. He's going to stay aggressive here and play the guard as opposed to drawing in the house.
Ryan, 16.
Well, they're sweeping it.
They are.
A little more.
I guess maybe they did decide they're coming in. 16 seconds and they're able to pull it full 12 foot. Now that was with sweeping, but that is some keen ice, folks. Anytime you can pull a 16 into the house, you know you've got some great ice conditions. Those sweepers can do a lot with the rock. Love that situation.
Yeah, I can't slide very far anymore, but even I might have to put some sandpaper on
Right.
the slider.
So Yanagisawa going to the corner. I think this is the first corner guard we've seen in this game.
No, actually, Yanagisawa has used this tactic in the 2nd and the 4th end.
Right, okay, yep.
And there has been a little action around that corner guard in both of the
Right.
previous 2 occasions as well. So we'll see. But in those situations, Jake's had put up the guard to start the end. So.
Right. Jake's will definitely be coming in again then, I would think.
Well, with that first call, what it was, I'm guessing that
Line's close.
we probably
Line's
won't
good.
see a guard
Line's
on this
good.
shot.
Top 4.
Yeah, lines for bringing it around. He's calling top
8.
4.
Hard Jordan.
Jordan putting all his weight into this one. Not quite as deep as they wanted it.
8. Just again, even wider path in the first.
こっち行こうか
Putting up another corner.
相手どっちかしか隠せないと思う Get
Do you like opposing corners or do you like stacking them on the same side?
You know what? I see so little action around the corner guards that I'm not a fan of 2 of them because I don't know how you ever make use of 2 of them when you don't even make use of one of them.
Of one, right.
You need some seriously poor execution by your opponent to make
Right.
2 corner guards worth their while.
We do have a comment on YouTube. Unfortunately, it's in, I'm going to guess that's Japanese, and unfortunately, I can't translate. So thanks for the comment.
We need the Star Trek Universal.
I need the, I need the Google Translator here. Don't have that.
You graze
you take
the
a
guard,
picture?
That's okay. You want to do
I don't know if my flip phone has that
13-5.
technology, but
13-5, kind of just through.
Can we get that translated into a QR code and then we'll work from
Right.
there?
oh, go Yanagisawa. Thank you. Who needs Google when you got friends on YouTube that'll translate for you? So that's awesome. Glad to see we got some Yanagisawa fans out there. Apologies if I am mispronouncing that name. That is my Western Canadian accent that is heavily influencing that pronunciation. So
Now what we don't know is if that's just someone's best guess or if that's an accurate
or an
translation.
accurate translation. There you go.
That's really good.
Well, it looks like we got a second one kind of backing that up. So obviously some Yanagisawa fans online watching. That's fabulous to hear. Wonder if there's some kind of voice translator going across for me somewhere. Maybe they've got some AI out there that's picking up my broadcast and translating us.
Well, I certainly know that any translator out there would do better than what I could do natively if I were trying to
That's right.
speak it. So.
Well, he kind of said this, but this is really what he meant. So.
Well, we do appreciate all the listeners out there because otherwise I'd be out of this high-paying job. So.
That's right, yeah. If you keep coming back, I'll double your pay, Jim.
Well, okay, I expect that when for my gig tomorrow.
For your gig tomorrow. Double your pay.
Clean. Okay, nice.
Nice guard there by the Yanagisawa team.
Let's play it really. Let's play it thin.
Guarding second shot, so they're hoping for some opportunity to get a shot rock at some point.
Jake's running up, and he's going to peel the guards here.
6-5, go for a thin quarter.
It's not a bad situation for Yanagisawa right now with no real guards on any of the yellow ones. They're free access over there, so.
Yeah.
I mind that.
Ryan's trying to. He's called for the double peel, but now they're perhaps talking about a run back. So.
Just a hair low.
Gotta be a little careful with that double peel. You could really disaster it and either jam it or do it really wrong and hit and roll it into the house.
Or really go low side and jam it dead on shot rock.
Right, yeah.
Be good either. So.
Clean. Hard.
Well, they're playing it with that, so no, they'd have to be wide for that to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, but look at the result.
Look at the roll, though.
Yeah, look at the result.
Yeah, that might almost be better.
Well, it's pretty much dead buried.
It is,
shot
yeah.
rock there, so.
Yeah. Is there a port to come around through that to chase it?
I think there might
be. Yeah, with the action we're getting, the curl we're getting today.
It's not a wide one.
No. I might have to drive the car through that, not the F-150.
Now Yanagisawa was talking about playing that front double one, which may actually turn into a triple, which Nate said.
Right, good. Yeah, the triple's pretty natural if you're like if you're playing the double. I think you're right. I think you are getting the triple.
Yeah, just hit that one closest to the center line first. It's going to be very close.
Yep.
ただね、ローレスゲート黄色からあるのと、それに近いとこれがあるんだよね。
I know it always scares me when I opt to play a hit on second or third or fourth shot, and I don't otherwise have shot rocks.
Right.
まあダブルしちゃうからね、ここで。ただそうすれば角度ちょっと厚くなる。だからこれも出しちゃうかどうかって感じ。そしたら先にここ行って2点は取れる。
So Dunham put up a 2 in the fifth end against O'Connor to close the gap in that game to 5-4 for O'Connor.
It's getting a little close, but O'Connor's got hammer back, so he'll be going hard for his deuce here in the sixth end. It's generally a good game plan. Have the lead and score 2 and 6 and extend your lead some more.
Yeah, you'd never turn that down if it was given to you as an option at the start of the game.
That's right. I don't mind being up by 3 after 6. That never hurts my feelings.
That being said, I've lost a fair number of games being in that position.
So. I've been on the wrong end of that one too. Oh, pretty good shot. Oh,
hit her a little thinner than they wanted to.
Yeah. Now, did he leave a double back?
I mean, you can roll into the side and you're buried.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I think that's the way. You like the out here?
Some great camera action by
Sounds good. Let's
by
do
Blake there. Thanks a lot, Blake. Good job. Great transitions by Jared. Good job, guys.
You may have to double their salaries.
I
as
might
well.
double. Yeah, you guys keep this up. I'll double your salaries too.
Whoa. Clean. Hard.
I think Ryan's going for the hit and roll here.
Must be close.
Yeah. They're pounding by just. Oh, that's pretty nice.
Good shot.
Wow.
9-4.
Great shot. That's about as good as you can make it.
And there is no easy response to that shot.
No, there isn't.
ちょっと見えてないよね。ああ。まあそれできればこうがいいね。
I think he's just got to jiggle some stuff around here. Kind of back 12, back 8 kind of weight.
Keene blanked the fifth end, and so Venance still holds a 2-1 lead in that game.
Okay. Another tight game.
もうちょい詰める ?OK。
Looks like there was a blank on sheet 4 as well in the fifth end, so they're tied at 2 there on sheet 4 as well. Between Adams and Kaltoff. This game going much better for Adams than his earlier game today. They were just on the wrong side of the inch in that game as well, so they're playing well.
もうちょい
Just
来てるよ
kind
もう
of
ちょい
one of those
や
games.
っやっライライライナイスショット
Nice little tap there. Pretty much what he called by Team Yanagisawa.
Yeah, still a very good situation for the Jakes team.
It is, yeah.
Pretty big hole. And let's see how much you can hit of this button.
Could chase that and try and just push it through the
Pretty
hole.
precise. Maybe just
It's-
this for now.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a pretty precise hole to push through, so.
Yeah, more so that
I think
the
we go
hole
for
gets
this.
small because you can't hit it very thin. That's
Right.
the problem.
Let's go 12-5. 3/4.
Looks like he's trying it though, I'm assuming. He is. Yeah, he's going to try and push it through the hole, so.
Well, he still has young eyes. He can make the right call.
Right.
Whoa. Go. Hard, Ethan. Hard. Almost
Close.
there.
Close.
Oh, great sweep.
Just rubbed it here, but got away with it. Was within the tolerance, removed the
11-8.
rock.
Great.
Great sweeping.
And 11-8 as well. They got it there.
ちょっと追加
My eyes now, I just aim for the middle rock.
はい
Or the middle of the 3 rocks.
Or the
that
middle
you're
of the,
seeing.
that's what I'm saying, the middle of the 3 rocks. I figure if I aim for the middle, I'm going to hit something.
'Cause you know you might be on something because when you're throwing, you shouldn't be 3 rocks in play.
That's right. Exactly.
でこっちには当てない
That's why I aim for the middle one.
Yeah.
まああるねで最後ダブルって感じだよね
Yeah, he's like, like
ま
I
た
don't love.
やっぱこうじゃない
Seems like since we figured out this new way to sweep that it seems like it's easier to get rocks to curl than it is to try to get them to stay straight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
でもこれがワンのまま
That's why I've been just saying time.
You know, for years when I was a junior, and this goes back a long time, but we swept on the same side of the rock. There was two of us.
Ignorance is bliss. I guess.
Apparently, with hair brooms. How we didn't figure that out in 1980, whatever, I don't know, but I do.
I'm not sure why that one curled so much. Well, now we know.
Now we know exactly why. But yeah, I remember two of us. He never swept with the gripper. I always just had the slider on, and you could only sweep on the one side at that time. What's he playing here? The short run back?
Well, seems so.
Not quite sure what that gets him.
You know what? I'm sitting here with furrowed brow as well, trying to figure out what value this might present. Yeah, so now you got third and fourth shot. You didn't deal with the two most problematic
rocks and
opponent rocks that you have. And you leave a fairly short double if Jacques wants to take it off.
And a double to keep the shooter too, to lie three.
And to roll to where
he wants to roll anyways.
Cap on top of things as well.
Yeah, that's
that was a bit of an odd call.
Okay.
Especially when he had a free pass at shot rock.
Yeah. Would Ryan ever just ignore this and draw in?
Based on his call, no.
No, I guess not. But
he certainly could. The problem. Well, he'd have to draw, and he couldn't just put a guard up because the double is a serious threat on the left-hand side of the sheet.
Right.
There, so I don't think you'd want to leave that double. If you froze right down to your shot rock, it would probably be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's trying to make the red double, so we'll see how that works out.
Well, if he does it right, I think the shooter's definitely sticking around and rolling to a pretty good spot for him.
Well, didn't really try to keep it in a super great spot. They were just trying the double.
He was getting rid of the double all day long. He threw a bit more weight than I thought he was gonna, but he did stick around. He's laying three. There's okay.
ダブルして1点取って1点取らせて最後2点取る。
Last couple of calls here by Yanagisawa have confused me a little.
Yeah.
Even this one, I'm not sure the value of the double, as opposed to just those little hit and
flop.
roll.
Yeah. I guess maybe you think you know the ice better, but
1回ダブル。ダブル。
I would try the little hit and flop myself.
Yeah, the only logical explanation could be that if he makes the double dead on, he doesn't have it'll be dead buried.
It will be true, yeah.
Behind the guard, but that's the only reason I can think that they're playing the shot the way they are here.
Yeah. Because there's never a triple there.
No.
If that rock's a rock higher, maybe there's a triple, rock or two higher, but yeah, see,
hit it too thick. He didn't get the right angle,
and didn't get the double, and
so now
rolled open, and so Jacques is just gonna hit. And I guess there's no sense trying to be fancy and hit and roll in.
Well, you have to be a little careful about the jam.
Because he could jam. Yeah.
And so right now, that's the last thing you'd want to do. You can hit and roll out pro side, and the worst you're doing is force into a single, which you'd be pretty happy to do at this point.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that Ryan will be getting too cute with this.
No,
ロールしたらジャム
no,
ルか
I think you'll see some firm weight and make it go away and
多分普通にピールかな相手
don't jam.
あピールだね
And there we
And
go.
exactly what we called.
As predicted.
So draw to the button. Well, anywhere full 8.
Just slightly
So you got a pretty good wide range. Yanagisawa's draw weight's been pretty good so far, so I expect this to be on or pretty darn close to the button by the time it's done.
Yeah, especially with this turn and this spot in the
Right.
ice and the even ends. He's made this shot every even end so far. So.
Yep. So, however, he still has to throw it. So,
And unfortunately, they haven't got to the point in this sport where they've said, "Oh, it picked. You can throw it again."
they are working this.
Got a little
Yeah,
closer
oof,
to the
that
guard
was
than it needed to
Cuter
be.
than the guard.
Holy moly!
They made her, but I think
Wow.
that Skip owes his brushers a beer after that one. That would have been disaster rubbing
Wow.
that that guard. Holy smokes!
It's a good thing they didn't wait 6 inches longer to start
No
sleeping.
kidding. After we just talked up that it was pretty much an automatic, that was cuter than it needed to be. So
取らせて
right. It seemed to curl really early though. He didn't look like he threw it bad.
Okay, there we're getting some feedback from the opposition on that shot. Jake's figuring that it looked like he didn't throw it that bad and that it curled up.
Yeah, make sure we get the one, but deuces here. Blanks are good, yeah. I don't think they'll give us a chance to. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think totally. Alrighty, let's do it.
I'm glad I'm on this side. A lot less to think about. Good teacher. I have a good teacher, Brian. Keep pushing a little bit. I'm glad he still comes over just to check on us.
Oh, they lost that one on sheet 6.
on
They
sheet
were,
6, uh-oh.
They were playing a straight back raise for multiple points and
Left my gripper.
didn't sweep it the entire way down the sheet until it curled too much.
Uh-oh.
Did I throw him off like 3 times there? Need these boys.
O'Connor looking at a buried opposition rock on their last shot in the 6th end, so we could be headed
Mine's
to a
good.
tie game there.
Okay.
Half in the.
Yeah, looks like what does O'Connor got to do
I
here?
can
He's
fit.
got to draw the 4-foot.
Yeah,
a
they
single.
got to get a very large chunk of the 4-foot.
Touch
for-
button almost.
for a
Just
point.
about touch button for a single.
spot.
Okay.
15-1.
してもいい
Ice still running in the 15-second range there, Rob. So it's
Yeah.
holding up very
Holding
well.
up very well. Good job to the ice makers here at Calgary Curling Club. So the O'Connor team just keeping the brooms down. I would say starting to sweep it now. Assuming they like the... Going hard. I think he's going to be a hair well, might be a hair short.
Yeah, just
a hair short.
2 rocks short, yeah.
Steal a 1 by Dunham to tie the game up in the 6th end, but O'Connor holds hammer, so 5-5 after 6 ends on sheet 3 between O'Connor and Dunham.
I think Dunham would have to be very excited about their position after that early four.
Yeah,
four spot
giving up
they
4
gave.
for sure. They've clawed their way back into this one. So, well, they're pretty good curlers. Like I said, they made the final of this Bonspiel last year and only lost to McEwen. McEwen had a lot on the line in this Bonspiel last year. If they needed to win this Bonspiel, and that guaranteed them into the Saskatoon Slam last year. And so being the hometown team, there's a lot of pressure on themselves to win this Bonspiel. And so they did come through. They did win it. So congratulations to our 2023 champions, Team McEwen. But Dunham put up a good fight in that final game. It was a great game. We had, I think it was close to 1,800 people watching on YouTube. It was fabulous. So. Back here in our feature game, Jacques is sitting on the button. And we're back to playing this center ice game here.
Keep girl.
It's a little wide on this one, a little wide, a little hot.
13
So
free.
mistake there by the Jacques team, flashing that rock. That was not what they wanted to do.
I think in the end, though, they probably were happier without making contact with anything.
Well, yeah, that's the right. That just titch it over would have been the biggest disaster. So if you're gonna go by, get by.
Keane just drew the back 4 foot against 2 to tie that game
To
up.
score the single. Okay, so in the 6th end, it's tied up between Keane and Venance. 2-2, that's a tight race. And looks like over on sheet number 4, it looks like Kaltoff needs to draw.
I think Adams must have made a very nice hit and roll on his last shot.
Because he's sitting on the pin right now, covered behind 3, well, 2 guard, and then there's overlapped rocks in the 12 and 8 foot. So Adams is in a pretty good spot. I'm not quite sure how Kaltoff gets to this. Can he come off the
Well, he's got a side one that he can
come off
roll 6 feet and try to push it far enough to perhaps get 2, but
never an easy shot.
Hard. Whoa.
Jake's playing a straight back here.
Whoa. Hard.
Close to something good happening.
Yeah.
Good shot. That's pretty good.
Thanks for the compliment, Ron. Yeah, Jim, we got a compliment from our good friend Ron Pelkey, watching from Kootenay Lake, BC. Look at that. All right, Ron's out at the lake. Well, hope you're enjoying and having a pint watching us here, Ron.
Yes, thank you, Ron.
Happy to hear where other people are listening in from. We've obviously got some Japanese fans on here. I don't know. I tried my my iPhone Translate, but it didn't seem to work very well. So.
They must want you to upgrade to the iPhone 18 to get that
Maybe.
feature.
They don't have much good angles. This is pretty good. This is also pretty good. But again, they don't have half a rock's really good. That'll spin. Thin half gets the middle. Like the end.
Jake's trying
Actually,
to double here
6-5 to try to spin a little.
eliminate
Same
the
way
2 red rocks in the house. And it looks like Kaltov has opted to try to play the long in off here.
Whoa! Hard!
Okay.
Whoa! Whoa!
Great
shot.
double by the Jakes
Yeah.
team.
Nice throw.
Yeah, very nice.
Ah, that's a hair thicker. It's pretty darn good though. It didn't stick.
Yeah,
right
I would agree, Ryan. Pretty darn good. I don't know how you make that a whole bunch better, to be honest with you.
And Kaltov's attempt at the in-off double curled a little too much, and it was a steal of a single point by the Adams team to go
Okay.
up 3-2. The situation is looking pretty good for Team Jakes.
Ooh, little slip there, recovery. Didn't burn the stone, and now Jakes is, yeah, he's still in a really good
but
spot
I'd be
here.
a little
They
surprised if
have
he doesn't
this
rip
right
the
now.
guard, to be honest. He's
Well, he is talking about drawing in here.
Really good to be that. I don't love the pick, so
No, I can't say I love the pick either.
John, yeah, come take a look.
I'd still be surprised
'Cause
if
I
they
don't
don't play
love everything
the
that
rip
they-
on
they-
the guard.
On the guard, yeah.
They don't have much with the out.
I think a lot of club curlers would ask, why don't you just throw up another guard?
Which is precisely what Yamagusha would want you to do. So
Right.
Because I think even if just the guard's gone, I don't see how we're.
Your typical club curler, if you're playing a team that's not that strong with takeouts, sure, you can throw up the guard and say, I dare you to
Stick is really
not, but when you're playing
But then
against
you'll
these
see it
guys
here.
and they can throw the runs
Yeah.
that they can, the guard is not the right play.
I think 8-5 min.
赤まっすぐ押すか
yeah, the thing is if they
ポッケ
rip
も壊され
this
ちゃうかも
guard,
しれない
I just don't see
黄色
what Yanagisawa starts to do here, because the guard is clearly in
Thin half.
what they're relying on right
Thin
now, and if
half,
it goes
really
away,
good.
their chances of forcing or stealing go down significantly.
Yes, yeah. Call them on right away.
Hard! Hard!
A little bit of
That's
panic.
he was a hair tight.
Yeah, not exactly what they were hoping for there.
No,
Yeah, if they ever get one put in that little pocket there,
that's a pretty good spot for Yanagisawa,
Yeah.
for sure.
the force starts to look like it could be a possibility there. Looks like they might be considering some shot with weight here now too. Well, they might be saying maybe we'll just outduel you with numbers at this point too.
Right.
Force you to one because we're lying 3.
Mm-hmm. So forced to 1, you're down 2, coming home with the hammer is
いやそうガードを行く
Well,
Not-
in their in between and team discussion, Team Jakes did mention that they wanted to ensure that they could count this in. So
okay.
Didn't sound like they were too keen on giving up a steal just to
no.
retain hammer. So.
Right. I think the best place for Yanagisawa is just in that pocket.
Yeah, that would be. If they do that, then you know, there's a chance that Ryan would just rip it out of there, and then the blank starts becoming a possibility.
Potentially. Although that little biter outside is...
that side biter may prevent that from happening.
Well, and you did see Jacques on the last time when they were ripping. They were lining up, where do I got to hit this to get rid of it? Because they know that is the problem rock,
Yeah,
I think.
He did want to try and deal with that with one of the peels. So.
Yeah. So we don't have timers on these games. We do publicly shame teams for playing too slow. There is a bit of a discussion going on here, but it is a critical juncture in the game, and I have to admit, I don't know. You got a couple options. None of them are super great. Now, what's he calling? Is he playing the hit and roll here? It doesn't.
I don't know. That's. I don't know. I mean, that looks like what they're playing. Is there any chance that they're trying to raise the red onto the yellow?
Yellow.
That doesn't look like enough ice to hit the side yellow.
No.
Unless you throw a rocket, which really wouldn't be in the best interest.
Well, no, you're not. Yeah, you wouldn't throw rockets to get that kind of roll, right? Okay. He must be playing on the top one, but not quite sure what that gets him again.
Well, the only thing I can see, Rob, is at some point they're trying to. It's a numbers game. They want to outlie Jacques and force them into one that way. Yeah, this is definitely a.
Okay, well.
Makes it harder to get to that.
There, 2-3.
Shot rock now.
Does. And the important thing is they are 2-3.
Yeah.
That would not have been good if they wouldn't have pushed that far enough.
Yeah,
Think just that.
Jacques is still trying to make this double on that little
On
side
the little
nibbler
outside
there.
biter, yeah.
Half's really good.
I mean, even if you don't get to it, but you just roll in front of it, it's pretty good too. So Ryan can throw the weight to get there. That's not a problem.
Thing is, this now becomes a numbers game that could favor the Jacques team too.
Yes.
Whoa.
Because now all of a sudden that one red that's in there is going to look pretty lonely.
Yep. Just kind of like we talked about.
Yeah.
What does Russ Howard say? You go hard for the force and you force the opposition into 2 or 3?
Yeah, force them to 4.
Force.
We did our job.
Yep.
They counted.
They counted. Overachieved on that one. Yes.
Yeah, the dreaded force of 4 in the 7th.
That is a lonely red rock sitting there right now.
Just off the center.
Okay, so he's playing the run back.
Yeah. Yeah. Just off the center.
Well, we better stick it.
Yep. Stick it and try and get your shooter underneath the guard.
Yeah, you can with the angles the way they are.
I think
so.
it'll work. Yeah.
But
But will you leave it double back?
You might. It depends how far you can roll your shooter. If you roll your shooter dead buried, then there wouldn't be any double.
Right.
So.
Okay.
But you do have to get to the amateur side on this, or else you will leave something.
Yep.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Rolled too far,
Okay.
even.
He might have rolled a hair too far. Did he leave the... Well,
It'd
it's
be
pretty flat.
but I would have wanted to leave that high one
Pulling into
dead
it.
in behind. That
Yeah.
would have been my preference.
Yeah. That is dead flat. I don't know if a double's there or not.
Yeah.
Jakes can throw it pretty hard, but
Can.
that's
What's the
straight
outcome?
across. So
That is, yeah.
I don't think it'll move with.
he's gonna.
Gonna take a go at it. I guess worst case scenario, you just hit and bump up against it. But
He's gonna try to kick it sideways here.
yeah.
Really flat, but we can roll into the side of it.
Okay,
It's
so
really good.
Ryan's on the same page that I am.
Turn.
It's flat, but you're gonna roll into the side of it. So maybe I have learned something sitting in this lounge.
You have become a genius.
I've made a lot of shots at the table, Jim. Make my best shots at the table.
Yeah, well, some of them are just shots.
Some of them are just shots. That's right. Well, the emoji says it all on the commentary there. I think Yanagisawa's sweating a little bit.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a pickle here.
Yeah,
But
no.
So now they're starting to create some angle for a possible double
Right,
on the
yeah.
last one here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're a rock higher now.
yeah,
So Yanagisawa has to be careful here.
Just a little
yeah, he needs to either roll it in so that the double can't be made off of this rock, or roll it out a rock and
Right.
a half.
Yeah.
Put it right on the edge of the hat out
Right
there.
there.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right there. Just roll it out to the edge of 8 and
I mean, it's a precise shot. No matter how you slice it and dice it, it's equally hard to roll it out a rock and a half as it would be to roll it in a rock and a half. And
Yeah.
both attempts have the same risk, and that is you knows the one you're trying to hit here.
you leave the double for 3.
Yeah.
So, okay, precise shot coming up here from Yanagisawa.
However, you certainly don't want to just roll out on this because
Well-
easy shot for 3 is still easier than a harder double for 3. So
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, you definitely want to stick around here and definitely want to stick second shot. So, hit the broom and throw the right weight.
simple game.
Nothing to it.
And then hope your skip knows what he's doing.
Doing.
Yep. Play. Yep.
This is starting to curl.
Yep. Roll it.
Looking
It's
pretty good.
Close. Yeah,
Oh, they
that's.
could have dealt with another 6 inches of roll.
They would have liked another rock.
But I have
more, but-
I'm a little surprised Ryan's not taking this on, because
Well-
this is now the situation
Can we
where he
roll
could
over
go,
top?
you know what, we can give up a steal of 1
Mm-hmm.
and still have the
6-5.
hammer in a tie game coming home with a reasonable chance to count 3 if we make the shot.
2-3.
Yeah.
So
With the out, let's do it.
yeah,
The
yeah, they've decided to take
decided
it
to
on.
take it on. Is there a
Go
risk of
ahead.
jamming onto the outside yellow?
Don't think so.
No,
I
it's gonna go under
think
it.
There's
Should
enough
go under it if you do
room,
it.
and it's deep
6-5.
enough that I
Okay.
don't think you take the yellow
Yep.
out.
Okay.
230
Yeah,
is
it
really
looks like you actually missed that yellow one by a fair
I
amount.
think so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think you got to go for it.
Well, this is one of those shots that's worth the gamble, in my opinion, because it's not it's not one where you risk actually missing the shot, because it's not a thin
Right.
double.
I like
It's a
6-5,
fairly
2/3.
natural half rock
Yeah.
double.
Yeah.
So chances of missing your target rock are not that high. So you're probably looking at worst giving up 1.
Yeah. Well, I could miss the target rock. That's not a problem.
You have all those years of practice of
That's-
doing it. So.
I do. That's why I play lead, so I don't have to throw shots like this.
But then you're charged with the monumental task of sweeping your skips attempt at
Yes.
these shots.
This is close. Oh,
Gonna get us
just
one
a hair
here.
thick, so just gets his 1, but that's okay. An acceptable result.
Well, good attempt.
Yeah. All right. So after 7 ends, it's 5-3 for Jacques over Yanagisawa. Yanagisawa's down 2, coming home with the hammer.
However, there will be that age-old debate of whether they should have allowed it to just given up a steal of 1 and retain the hammer.
And retain
coming
hammer.
Two in and
I generally like points.
feel like,
I like being ahead in the game, even if it's by as little as 1.
Yeah. No, I like that too. So.
I can fairly safely say that I have 1 more games being ahead by 1 without the hammer coming home than vice versa. So
I would think I'm in that same boat. Yeah.
full fort.
sheet 6, Glenn Venance has to draw the 4-foot to avoid giving up a steal.
Looks like Keen's laying 3.
3, yeah, all behind cover.
All behind cover.
Mine's good.
So this is a cold draw, no backing to the probably the side of the button actually.
Yeah, it looks like full 4 will
do it.
do.
Just crossing center.
Wouldn't hurt your feelings if you touched the
Really
button
good.
though.
15-5.
Nope.
Top button.
This looks like it might have
Great
to
sweep.
go a little
nice.
bit.
Yeah. Keen team is sweeping this.
Oh, it certainly had the depth, but
Right.
just not quite the. Sorry, had the curl, but not the depth to get to the right spot.
Right,
so I think it was a steal of 1 there.
Steal of 1 by Keen on sheet 6. So they go up 3-2. And Venance will have hammer coming home. Venance is down 1 coming home with the hammer.
So
Meanwhile, over on sheet 3, they got a mess in the 4-foot. So we're going to let them figure that out. And we'll come back to sheet 3 later on.
And looks like Kaltoff's trying to build up a little bit of a good end here in the 7th end against Adams.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that anomaly over on sheet 2, and the other 4
Mine's
games
good.
are all very
Just
good, very
super
close.
tight, yeah.
Bit of room. Yeah, hair wider path. Line's good. If you're light, switch. Curl and wait. Hard Ryan.
So Jake
the way.
wants to be in the house here. He doesn't want to be short. Looks like they are going to come up short, but so a little bit of a miss there from the Jake's team. They were wanting that in full 8, full 12, somewhere in there. Yanagisawa's calling for, I think he just called the 1 guard, so he's going to stack the guards on the left side as we're looking at it.
Yeah, hope for a nose hit or a roll to a spot where they can make use of the Jake miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Line's good. Line's good. Nice
So
shot.
1 guard.
Yeah, did its job.
Full
Yeah.
8.
Okay, Ryan saying bring it full 8. He's going to have to play it tight to that red guard that was just thrown, just the way it's curling. He doesn't have a lot of room to get by that.
Just
He's
thinking
gonna
the exact same thing, Rob.
Scrape
so
the edge of that rock, so it's going to be interesting.
Room. Room. Line's good. Line's
Okay,
good.
must be off the guard now if he's calling line good.
Tight. Whoa. Clean.
missed
Is
that
he a
one
little
by
hot?
3 or 4 inches.
Yeah, he
and
did.
Missed
Hard.
this guy by an inch or
to it.
2.
Yeah.
So
This is
driving
Shot.
semi through that.
14-3. Good judge.
could have drove the F-150 through that one.
前ビッグでもいいよ。
Didn't need the car. I can take the truck. So pretty good situation for Jake's right now. Yanagisawa is going to hit and roll off this behind cover.
12半
Are they trying to roll in off the guard or off of the high 4-foot one?
He did tap the guard.
Yeah, that with that ice, that makes more sense. Especially with the weight they're calling here, just tack weight.
Yeah.
Quite close here.
Right what he wanted. Did he get a biter? Yeah, he did get a roll on.
Fantastic shot.
So really likes that. Good shot. Great shot by the Yanagisawa team. Jake's wasting no time. He's looking for the run here.
6-5.
Is there a triple?
About
If he does it right.
thin 7/8.
Yeah. You risk leaving a guard and not covering your center ones if you
Right.
chase that, but
Calling hard right out of his hand.
not really playing the turn that would bring that into play.
Okay, hit the double. Did leave the guard there, but
Should be able to get to it with the in turn if
Yeah.
you really needed to.
I think so.
Now Yanagisawa is going to really try to make use of that double corner guard that they put up here, although it's not there anymore. The situation is
Situation's still there, so. And the way this is curling, this should come in.
So O'Connor counts 1 in the 7th to go ahead by 1 against Dunham.
So Dunham's 1 down, coming home with the hammer. All right.
Okay.
And over on, sheet 6.
that's
We
a
know
nice
that
hit
Keen's
roll.
up by 1 after in the 8th end. So Venance has hammer. Venance is 1 down, coming home with the hammer. And on sheet 4, they're just posting the score, and it looks like,
Big
looks
3
like
count.
there's a big 3 count in the 7th end. Never like giving up 3 and 7. That doesn't bode
Pretty
well,
good spot.
generally
They'll
speaking. So,
neutralize that one forever.
all right. So on sheet 4, it looks like Kaltoff scored the 3. So Adams is down 2, coming home with the hammer.
Yeah, that may have been the classic force him to 3 in the 7th.
That
Like
might
it
have
is
been.
a
Yeah,
long guard.
we
We
weren't
can
watching that
just,
sheet, but
Do that.
Adams won't be happy with that result.
You like that better?
Meanwhile, the Yanagisawa team
we
did
keep
their
it simple
job
for
and
now.
drew in. Maybe a hair deeper than they wanted, but the
9-5.
line's real nice for him.
I
So
don't mind that,
You
Rob.
hit
That creates some
half or more,
separation
it's
between
good.
the
True.
high one that
Let's go for
they
2/3.
drew around. They weren't going to get shot rock coming there regardless.
right,
So
yeah. So line is more important than depth there, and
yeah, I think the created separation actually works out okay.
pretty good. Yeah. Jake's is chasing the top one here. He's just going to get rid of the top one. And
Whoa.
looks like a nice hit and roll out here. Scraped her by the
Yeah.
rock on the bun. You really wouldn't have wanted to hit your own out. So called and made. Gave us all something to be excited about for a second.
So at some point, if Yanagisawa wants to get there to this end, they're going to have to deal with the 2 yellows that are in the 4-foot. So
Yep.
probably can only wait one more shot before they start to deal with that.
Nice kick, clear, yep.
Brusher's leaning heavy into this one. Definitely don't want to be short on this. Got to be in the house. They're close. They should drag it in there.
Well, you
Thank you.
need to buy your sweepers a bottled water. After
Yeah,
that.
that's
That was
right.
great sweeping.
Get there.
They knew what was going on, so didn't let off, and
Want to do 11-5?
looks edge on that. So
Rollout's
Choosing the
okay.
back
But
one.
it's really going for. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah, 11-5.
looking for a nose hit here, I think, is
Yeah, it's certainly there. You don't want to just chisel that high red one, that's for sure.
no, don't want to do that.
And even if
Rolling
you're-
out's better than chiseling for sure.
Yeah, you know, rolling out, the only risk or the only problem with rolling out is that you probably have to win the game in an extra end. That's
Right. Calling hard.
Hard! Please!
Really like to hear that clean as a sweeper after a quick, hard to start.
Good sweep.
nice shot.
12-4.
And no triple there off of the two
No,
center one.
don't see a
so
triple,
It was
so
a rare time where I called hard because I could tell you because it's too light.
赤より下げれたら本当は
Yeah, totally.
いや3個は抑え
Nice way of the skip saying nice shot, even though I made a good call to make it.
right. Yeah, exactly. There's a little back patting going on there. Just about strained his arm patting his own back on that one.
Have to head to the clinic afterwards to get it
Yeah,
reset.
need
so.
a chiropractor adjustment after patting myself on the back so well for that. Geez, I made a good call there.
難しいから薄めのけどああまあこれ決まったら結構でかい多分からそしたら横で
So definitely got to think about what he wants to do here. A lot of pressure on Yanagisawa right now. Jacques is in full control at this point.
Yeah, whatever they do here, their shooter has to be no worse than third shot here. So I think that's why they're not as excited about hitting that side yellow one as they might otherwise be.
Right.
Although I guess you could hit and roll out and still argue that your third shot. So
True. You just hit and roll off the top 4-foot yellow for now. Get into that nice spot.
well, if you could ever make the roll in behind so that you've got second and fourth shot in behind the cover, it's not unattractive, let's just say that.
Right, yeah. Looks like he's playing the in-off on the button rock,
Yeah,
though.
could be. I think, I mean, if you chase the double now, Rob, I think it gets very hard for you to get your 2 points. That's the problem.
It does, yeah. I don't know how jiggling things around. Jacques is just going to blast you.
Yeah, they've
So,
decided to
okay,
hit the back one.
Back to the back one. Not wrong. Oh, what a nice draw here.
Yeah, Keane is making it very difficult for
Venance, yeah. Keane has got the button, the pin covered, the button surrounded.
And ownership of the 4 foot.
And
So
ownership of the 4 foot. There's a, and no in off that I can see for Venance.
yeah, they've got. I mean, there's still rocks to come, but
Yeah,
at this
there's
moment they have almost nothing.
5 rocks to come, but Venance has got to move a lot of granite here. So there is one high guard that he can run back. Meanwhile, Yanagisawa is going to make a nose hit.
Oh, makes a very nice shot.
Yeah, great shot. Exactly what he called. Just pushed Jake's out, so he's sitting third shot, just like you drew it up, Jim. But Jake's can follow it.
Yeah, and it looks like the red got even just a hair of an inside move after the contact.
It
so
did.
it's more buried than the yellow was before. So
Yeah.
it's gonna, when he gets in the hack, he's gonna go. I can't see.
I
enough
can't
of
see this as much. It looked better at the other end. Can I throw it from the near hack? It's easier to make the shot from the near hack, isn't it?
Well, in spite of my assessment that Venance had nothing, they've made it better.
Made
so.
it better, yeah.
12-5 on this one.
Keane still has 2 on the button and is covered behind a couple guards, but yes, much better for Venance at this point.
Yeah, because now there is a theoretical possibility of counting 2
Yeah.
until Kaltov deals with this one, but Keane deals with this one, but he has to be careful about where he rolls this to as well.
Yeah. Okay, Jake's coming down. Calling whoa right away, asking for curl. Sweeper's pausing for a moment. Now they're trying to curl hard. Jordan really trying to, I don't think this is going to, well, just.
Ooh, that is
that's the worst
scenario that you could get on that shot.
Yes, that is not what you wanted.
It's still safe. I don't think there's a jam on the back rocks. And now you can make that double without risking, like, you make it, you're in good shape.
Good shape. So let's say he makes the double. Is Jake's only shot then the freeze?
Well.
Or I guess there's.
Remember, they're 2 up, right?
So
so it's not like 2 loses you the game. So
right. Wow, bit of a turnaround in this game.
Yeah, all it takes is one
little miss.
One little miss, yeah.
Well. So I don't think Yanagisawa can roll too far to the outside because that'll jam the yellow. So he's got to be pretty close to nose here to make the double.
Yeah.
Can't be wide on this.
Although that's not the end of the world either, because that would leave you second, third, and fourth. And now Jake's can't make any kind of mistake, or then they lose the game.
Right. I did not see this 3 rocks ago. Oof.
That triple.
Okay.
Right on that one.
Right,
got a little closer to the back one than I thought they were going to get.
So Jake's calling the freeze right away. If you do get that frozen on, I think you're in pretty good.
Well, you've probably saved the loss.
Saved the loss
in this end, yeah.
Yeah. That's just an ugly double, which only gets you a free draw for 2. So this is the best shot for Jake's right now.
Yeah, sounds good. Like a 15-5.
Yeah, your only other option would be the wide out turn to the back 4 foot, but that you wouldn't play that unless you were really desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, right down to it. Won't move it at all. So it's close to the freeze as it can.
No, freeze is the only shot here. Meanwhile, looks like Keane is rolled back into the pin, and he's sitting one on the pin, 2 on the button. So Venance,
He must have drawn it there though, because
did he draw? He might have, yeah, because that
the
yellow's still
yellows
sitting
are
there.
still
Yeah,
in the edge of the forefoot. So must have decided to just throw it there.
okay.
Little room.
Jakes is a little bit of room. They need to get there. You can't be short, boys. Got to get it right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
pretty good.
Nice.
I would have liked a couple more inches. Can you?
Well, the only problem with going 2 more inches is you'd only be second shot. This
Second
is
shot. True.
Yanagisawa actually has to make a play on this to
Yeah.
count that front one. So
That is true. Yes.
some kind of play, even if it's just to top it an inch or 2. But then if Jake's ever freezes on, you're gonna be in tough shape.
Yeah, maybe that is the best spot for it. So we think Jake's is shot right now. There's the overhead shot. Thanks, camera guys. So Jake's is shot. Yanagisawa needs to score 2 to tie.
Air on making sure that there's enough, but now I don't.
Sheet 6, Venance just made a pretty nice shot with his first one. It's
He
not
did.
shot rock, but he's given himself a chance to win the game.
Yes, he has. I don't know how Keane gets rid of that.
Doesn't get rid of it.
No.
Yeah.
The saving grace right now is that I think the only way that you
My first shot.
potentially lose the game is by leaving a chance for Venance to play the one he just threw.
Yeah. So you just put a big guard on that side and see what happens.
I guess the only concern would be could you play the out turn with enough weight to push shot rock off the button and count 2 yellow that
2
way.
yellow that way. Okay, Yanagisawa is looking like he's going to come down and tap for scorer's deuce and get to the extra end.
Yeah, I
We
don't
see prayers happening on YouTube for the Yanagisawa team here. I can translate that one. He's praying.
He's playing it with some weight.
He
He's
is
trying to get.
playing-
He's trying to get more than 2 out of this.
Yeah.
Surprises me a
Well,
bit.
If he chisels it just right.
Oh, look at!
Oh!
Oh, I think he grazed it. Did he not?
No, he didn't move. It didn't move.
No,
It's still,
but
it's still
that
touching.
was so close.
Boy, if he, that would have moved it, and I think he'd have chiseled across for. Well, he'd have lost the shooter. With that speed, he'd have lost the shooter.
Yeah, but he was going to hit it thin enough that I don't think he'd have hit the back one, and he had the top
and he had the top
biter.
one. That's
Yeah,
right. So he
yeah,
would have won.
Yeah,
Wow, great game. Great game.
very exciting.
Can we go over to sheet 6, guys? Can we pan over to sheet 6? And let's see if we can.
Yeah, like
So Keane has decided to lob another one into the button area here.
and I was getting a piggyback ride.
Yeah, let's just transition to the house here. All right, folks, this is Keane and Venance. Keane looks like he's protecting the
I think he wants to go right to the freeze to his one.
right
in the
freeze
button.
to his own. Yeah. Well, he did just throw it.
He
so
did, so
Should know it.
Exactly. Yep.
Brusher's just doing a nice clean. Saying he needs to curl if anything.
There you go.
line looks good now.
Yeah, Brushers really like it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks for
That's
coming out.
Wow. Is that
I think-
second shot?
Well, it's second, but I think Venance can actually advance this yellow one
And-
enough to get to tie the game, but it would be a pretty good shot here. Because it is guarded a bit. I'm not sure how much weight he can
throw to get there.
Yeah, and he does have to throw a little weight because he'd only be hitting a very small portion of the yellow rock, and he'd have to move that. The red one that's on the pin right now would have to move out of the button. So.
Yeah. Got some great camera work by Blake and Jared here. Good job, guys.
Now, it appears he's throwing this with some heat.
Yeah, I think he's going to throw some smoke at this and see what happens.
The only problem with throwing it with heat is it may spin back to
Well,
the right
yeah,
and, then,
right.
and
You
not get shot rock
you
anyway.
could come around the horn on yourself.
Yeah.
And
We'll see, I guess.
might not move that rock that Keane just threw. You could potentially not even move it, or just a bit.
Well, yeah, I don't see them moving that one.
Whoa, asking for curl straight. This made a move.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about. It.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, just a lot of action off all those rocks. So a win by Keane on sheet 6. Great camera work, guys. Can we pan over to sheet 4? Sure, no problem. There we go. Look at this camera action.
Yeah, it looks like O'Connor's trying to play a tap on their yellow to force Dunham to have to play a good shot for their two.
For their two, okay. Maybe if we just zoom out, we can get both sheets side by side. Just zoom out a bit and touch over. There. Now we'll capture both sheets and see what happens here. So
the O'Connor team shot, it curled too much.
Okay.
Now they're looking at whether they have to even throw their last shot.
If there's ever a doubt, you just throw the short run back, is it?
Well, I don't know. The guards are positioned in such a way that it's no easy access to anything.
Okay, so. We're going to follow 4. Okay, yeah, we're going to follow 4. All right.
Pretty good shot on sheet 4 there. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Adams might have here.
Yeah. Kaltoff's laying 3. Kaltoff's laying 3, and did Adams have to score 2?
He has to score 2. Yeah, he's 2 down playing the last end.
I don't know how you.
That's not there.
Zarin around the horn.
That one that's on the tee line there needs to be back a little bit for that shot to be there. Dunham is playing something. Yeah, that's just enough.
Like
that was
win for Dunham.
Yeah, you called that one right, the short little tap run.
Yeah.
Well, that turned into a very good game, even though early on it looked like it could be a runaway.
Yeah, good run by the local boys. Thanks, Brian. It is. All right, so it's a win by Dunham and concession by Adams. So we got Sampson's winning, Dunham won, Kaltoff won, Jake's won, and